I'm sick of the lies. The lies. The lies the mainstream sports media tells you Bron fanboys to make you believe LeBron James is the GOAT. He not the GOAT, dog. He not the GOAT. All right? And today we're going to talk about, oh man, these fanboys, dog. These fanboys, they keep bringing up this 40,000 points, dog. 40,000 points. They just can't get over this 40K, dog. And they say that just helps his GOAT case, dog. Yeah, they say it helps his GOAT case. They say he got 40,000 points. And you know how we all say the truth. We all tell the truth when we say LeBron ain't a skilled player like that. He not skilled like that. And they say, well, not skilled, he has 40,000 points. 40K, but he's not skilled. Yeah, okay. He has 40K. You can't say he's not skilled. You can't say that because he has 40,000 points. Nah, dog. Nah. That logic is stupid, dog. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb. He has 40,000 points. No way he's not skilled. he's what are you going to say? He's one of the most skilled players ever? Are you going to say that? Because you know that's cap. You know it's cap. We say LeBron, he doesn't really have a bag like that. He doesn't really have a bag like that. And LeBron fanboys, 40K? he has 40K. You can't have 40K and not have a bag. He got 40K. Come on, dog. Nah. 40K ain't nothing, dog. It ain't nothing. I'm going to tell you this one more time. 40K ain't nothing, dog. 40K ain't nothing. And you did what? Oh, you're trying to discredit my glorious king. You're just trying to you need to appreciate greatness. No player will ever be able to hit that record. No player will ever be able to break it. That's an unbreakable record. LeBron said it. You're just mad because it's LeBron having the record. You're just mad because my glorious king has the most points all time. You're just a hater. You're just a hater. You're a hater. You're just a hater. You're just mad because he has 40K. That's the only reason you're just mad because he got 40 years. Stay salty. Stay salty, hater. My glorious king. He has 40K. Dog. What is the purpose of the game? What? Why are we playing this game? Why are we playing this game? Is it to see which individual player can get the most points all time in 21 years? Is this what the competition is? Is the competition per game, on a per game basis? Is a competition, well, is one team going against another team? And the team that has the one player that scores the most points wins the game. Yeah, the player that scores the most points on this team over here, even if your whole team outscores that team, the player that has the team, or the team that has the player that scores the most points wins the game, no matter what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the team outscores the team. It matters if the player on whatever team scores the most. That team wins the game, as long as your player scores the most. Is that how it works? Is that how you win? No. So he's not even playing within the purpose of the game, dog. And this is all regular season, dog. Regular season, he has 40K. Okay. What does that mean? Because when we get to the playoffs, he also has the most playoff points. But when we get to the playoffs, and it's time to win some games, especially when we get to the finals, and it's time to win some games, those points ain't doing nothing, dog. They ain't doing nothing. What are they doing? What are all those points doing? What are they doing? If they're not winning. He got 6 losses in the finals, dog. What are those points doing, dog? That's what I want to know. What purpose do those points serve? If it ain't helping them win, dog. I've said it before. Kareem had 38,000, dog. And he had 6 championships. LeBron has over 40,000, and he only got 4 championships. So whose points are doing more? Whose points are going towards more of a purpose? The purpose of the game, to actually win, especially at the highest level, dog. Whose points served more? Whose points are worth more? LeBron's 40K ain't worth nothing, dog. They ain't worth that much, dog. 40K, he only got 4 championships. So he got to score 10K per championship, dog. That's what that says. He got to score 10K before he gets 1 championship. Then he got to score 10K again before he gets another. Then he got to score 10K again before he gets another. And then he got to score 10K one more time so he can get another one, dog. Those points ain't going towards nothing, dog. They ain't going towards winning. All right? I've said it before. But since people are so dumb, they still don't get it, dog. They still don't get it. These Bron fanboys, they're still like, no, you're just hating. You're just mad because he has 40K. You're just mad because he has 40K. Nah, dog. Nah. Ain't no hate. It's just facts. I'm just telling you the facts. And I'm going to provide you a simple analogy, dog. A simple analogy to help you understand what the real NBA fans, people like me, people like all the real NBA fans who all be saying this stuff, dog, saying these points don't matter, dog. I'm going to give a simple analogy to break down the actual logic. We're not using how many points he got. It determines your greatness and how great of a player you are. That doesn't determine your greatness. That doesn't determine how great of a player you are, dog. Winning always determines how great of a player you are. How much you can win, and who are you beating? Who are you beating to win? You know? Let's talk about boxing, dog. Let's just talk about boxing. You could say a certain boxer is the greatest champion in history. He's the greatest boxing champion in history. Why? Because he won the most belts. He got the most belts. Oh, okay, he got the most belts. Awesome. He's probably the greatest champion we've ever seen then. He has the most belts all time. But then we look at the competition. We look at who he faced and who he beat to get those belts, dog. most of those belts that he got, he ain't beat no high-ranked boxer to do it, dog. He ain't beat no high-ranked boxer. You know? He got like 11 belts, dog. 11 different belts. And 9 of the people he beat weren't even high-ranked boxers, dog. That's Bill Russell, by the way. That is Bill Russell, dog. He been to 12 finals, dog. 12. All right? He won 11. Out of all of those finals, dog, he only beat, he only faced, where am I getting at? There were 9 finals. 9 of those 11 that he won, 9 of them, he was facing, a team that had won less than 65% of their games in the regular season, dog. He wasn't facing no real winners, dog. He wasn't facing no real winners for 9 of the finals that he went to, dog. Remember, he won 11 rings, but in 9 of the finals he went to, dog, he was not facing a team that won 65% or more of their games, dog. He got the most belts, though. He does. He has the most belts. That's cool. We respect it because that was the era he was in, dog. That was the era he was in. There was no real competition, so he had to do what he had to do, dog. He had to beat down some clowns, and he did that, and we respect it. But we ain't comparing them to these boxers of now who are facing these high-ranked fighters, dog, and beating them. And there's more high-ranked fighters than there ever were before. And they're beating these guys and getting multiple belts. No one's ever going to get 11 belts again, dog. Nobody. That ain't going to happen. Because there's too much competition now, dog. Ain't nobody ever going to get no 11 belts again, dog. We're talking about boxing right now, right? We're comparing it to the NBA. We're comparing it to championships. We're comparing. Now, look. LeBron James, he's like a boxer, dog. He's a boxer with a losing record, dog. He's a boxer with a losing record, all right? He loses more fights than he wins, dog. He loses more fights than he wins. That's what he does. When it comes to high-ranked fighters, like the top rank and championship fights, he losing more than he winning, dog. He can't beat these guys up here. He's less likely to beat the high-ranked fighters. He can beat some scrubs down here. He can beat these little scrubs. You know how boxing goes. You train. When you start getting your amateur record going and everything and start trying to work your way into being a contender, you're going to face some scrubs. You're going to face some scrubs in the beginning, dog. You're going to face some scrubs and you're going to beat them and you're going to help your record, dog. And you might have a good record outside of facing the top fighters, all right? You might have a good record against all these scrubs and stuff. That's fine, But when it comes to facing the top fighters, he's losing more than he's winning, dog. He's losing more than he's winning, okay? LeBron James, his points are like punches, dog. His points are like punches, all right? So LeBron James, he got 40K punches, dog. He has the most, he's got the most punches landed in boxing history, dog. He got the most punches landed in boxing history, dog. Yep, he landed the most punches. But his record, when it comes to facing the top fighters, is a losing record, dog. So now we say well, he's a loser. He's a loser, dog. He still can't beat these top fighters. And you guys are saying, the Bron fanboys, it's equivalent to you saying, but he's a very skilled fighter. He's very skilled. He's one of the most skilled. He landed the most punches in boxing history. He landed the most punches. He landed the most punches. You're a hater. You're a hater. He landed the most punches in boxing history. You can't take that away from him. He landed the most punches. How can he not be skilled? How can he not be skilled? How can he be a loser when he landed the most punches in boxing history? Because he's losing these fights, dog. Why does it matter if he landed the most punches in boxing history if he's losing these fights? You see what I'm saying? He's losing more than he's winning, dog. When it comes to these high-ranked fighters he's going against, he's losing to them more than he's winning, dog. You know, he might be able to beat some scrubs and stuff. He might be able to beat up some punks. You know, he might be able to beat up some people who aren't quite on his level or who are like right in the area of his level. But when it comes to these top-ranked fighters, dog, most of the time, dog, he's losing. You see what I'm saying? I don't care how many punches you landed, dog. You got to win the fight. You see what I'm saying? You got to win the fight because that is the purpose of boxing, dog. You box to win, dog. You box to win. You see what I'm saying? You don't box just to land punches, you know? Because you can land you can land punches all round long. You can, round one, land a bunch of punches. Round two, you can throw all the flurries and everything you want to do. You can land punches all you want, dog. You can do that. But if at the end of the match, when that bell rings, dog, you know what I'm saying? And you are losing or you got knocked out, all those punches you landed don't matter, dog. If you land more punches, but then when that bell rings, dog, you got knocked out and laid out on the canvas and they counting to 10 and you ain't getting back up, it don't matter how many punches you landed throughout that fight, dog. It don't matter how many, because it did not lead to a win. You got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You got knocked out, dog. You laying on the canvas and you're not getting back up. But here we are. We're talking about how many punches he landed, though. That's what makes him the most skilled, because he landed the most punches. Nah. You start thinking about it, dog. He's so skilled. He's so high-ranked a fighter. He's got to be, because he's landed the most punches in boxing history, dog. He landed the most punches. But he keeps losing these fights. So now we got to look at these punches, dog. These punches he's landing. And we got to say, what is the impact? What is the context behind these punches he's landing, dog? He might be landing the most punches, but these punches aren't impacting his win record, dog, when it comes to these high-ranked fighters. So now we got to look at his punches, dog, and we got to see most of the punches he lands are little jabs. Just little jabs. That's what he's landed. Little jabs. Most of his punches are little jabs. Little pop, 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 barely hurt the opponent. Pop, pop, pop. Just light jabs. That's most of his punches, dog. When we start looking at his punches, and just like LeBron, we start looking at how he scores, dog. We start looking at where his points are coming from. And a huge amount of his points that he has scored have come from layups and dunks and free throws, dog. Layups, dunks, and free throws. That's most of his punches. Most of his points are coming from little stuff, dog. Little stuff you're supposed to be able to land. That you're supposed to land that kind of stuff. You're supposed to make layups and dunks. You're supposed to be making free throws, even though he sucks at free throws. That's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to get free shots. These are basically gimmies. And he's based his whole game off of getting the gimmies. You see what I'm saying? His whole game is based off of getting the gimmies, dog. And that's fine. That's what you want to do. That's fine. But that's not skilled. That's not skilled. Don't make that mistake and try to say he's skilled now. Don't do that. If he's just doing layups and dunks and free throws for a high percentage of most of his points, it's like 70%, something like that, 68 to 70% of his points, dog, they come from layups, dunks, and free throws, dog. So if we got a boxer who's landed the most punches in history, but most of the punches he's landing are light little taps, dog. Light little jabs to the head and the body, you know? Light little punches that aren't doing any damage, dog. We can't say, oh, this guy, he's a really skilled boxer. He deserves to beat those guys. It's just those guys were better. That's all. They were just better. They were just better. It wasn't his fault he had to go against them. They were just so good. That's the only reason he lost. They were just too good. Is that what we do? When we look at boxers, we look at the opponents they face and say, well, that guy was just too good. You know? No, we don't do that. Now, remember when I was talking about Bill Russell, dog? Most of the guys he was facing, they weren't too good, dog. They weren't too good. All right? And he beat them all. You know, he beat them all, most of them. The only one he didn't beat, he got hurt. He was hurt. So it's like you got hurt going into a fight and it hindered you in the fight. You were hurt and you couldn't win the fight. By the end of the bell, you know, you lost the decision, you know, because you just couldn't do what you wanted to do because you were hurt. That's like Bill Russell in his second ever final, dog. But everybody he faced in the finals, other than being hurt, he beat. All right? Except a lot of these guys were not too good. As a matter of fact, a lot of these guys weren't that good at all. You see what I'm saying? They weren't good enough. You know? They weren't good enough. And we don't say, oh, they were too good, you know, for all the people that got beat. All the people he beat. We don't say, oh, well, he was just too good. That's why they lost. He was just too good. We don't say that. All the people he beat, we don't say, oh, well, Bill Russell was just too good. You know, we don't make excuses for the people that got beat. They got beat because they got beat, dog. It's that simple. You got to be better. All right? You weren't good enough competition, but you were the competition that was there, dog. And this guy beat you because he was so good. You see what I'm saying? But now we are in an era where there's a lot of fighters, dog, who are so good. There's a lot of fighters who are so good. Okay? That's where we are now. So if you're beating guys, if you want to win championships, you want to get these belts, and you got to beat guys that are so good. That's what you got to do. That's what is the landscape of the competition right now. You got to beat the guys who are so good if you want to win a championship, dog. That's all it's been for what, the past 30 years or something? You see what I'm saying? It's always been about now in today's era, in today's league, and leading up to it for like the past 30 years, dog, if not longer, dog. You got to beat the guys that are so good if you want to win a championship, dog, for the most part. But here we are making excuses for LeBron because he lost in the finals. And we're saying, well, that team was just so good. What was he supposed to do? They were just so good. You know, they were so good. He just lost. Of course he would lose to them. They were so good. Like, no, dog. I don't want to hear that. Everybody is so good. And the ones that were so good had to beat some other teams to get to the finals that were so good. And then they face LeBron's team, who's supposed to be so good. And he lays an egg. So when he lays an egg, now all of a sudden, well, that team was so good. That's all. The team was just so good, you know? That fighter was so good. LeBron did his job. LeBron landed all the punches. He landed all those punches. He did his job. Look at all those punches he landed. Look at all the punches he landed in the fight. He did his job. He did his job. He landed all those punches, dog. He was swinging. He was hitting them with all those light little taps. With the limp wrist. He hit them so many times. He landed so many punches. But those punches weren't doing nothing, dog. And you still lost. You see what I'm saying? You can talk about how many punches LeBron James landed. But if he losing the fights, especially against these top-ranked opponents, then we have to start analyzing these punches, dog. And we got to start saying, yeah, he landed the most punches, but a lot of the punches he landed are weak. A lot of these points he's scoring are not impactful, dog. They're not impacting winning, dog. They're not impactful. He's not throwing big haymakers and hooks, dog. He ain't throwing uppercuts, dog. You see what I'm saying? He ain't hitting them with that cold cross to the jaw, dog. He ain't really doing that. He hitting you with little jabs to the head and the body with a limp wrist, dog. That's what he doing. That's why we don't care about this 40K. That 40K don't mean nothing, dog. Because we know how he got his 40K, dog. We know how he plays to get his 40K. And he thinks if he lands the most punches, everyone going to be like, oh, he's the best boxer. Nah, dog. See, any boxer, if they made that their goal just to land the most punches, you know, they would be beating him, dog. There'd be plenty of boxers who'd be able to beat that record if that's what they were literally trying to do, dog. If they wanted to land the most punches, dog. If that was the purpose of the fight, was just to land the most punches, dog. Plenty of boxers could do that, dog. But that's not the purpose of the fight. The purpose of the fight is to win, you know? And you want to win decisively. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to leave it up to no judge decision, dog. You want to leave no doubt. You want either unanimous decision, TKO, or knockout, dog. That's how you want to win. You want to make it decisive. You see what I'm saying? $40K don't mean nothing, dog. If he not winning these fights, he not knocking nobody out, you know what I'm saying? He ain't winning against these top-ranked fighters, dog. But he landing the most punches, so you try to say, oh, he the most skilled. Nah, dog. He made it his mission to land the most punches, dog. He's a stat patter, dog. How many times I gotta say it? Because if you're landing all these punches, but you're still losing these fights, then what do those punches mean? You know what they mean? I'll tell you what they mean. I'll tell you what they definitely mean. They mean LeBron James is not the GOAT. He not the GOAT, dog. He not the GOAT.